Taking a look also at what's happening with Meta. Shares of Meta ending the day is slightly lower. This comes after CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced 10,000 job cuts on Tuesday. There you see it on the screens. Meta down for the day. Meta had already laid off 11,000 employees back in November, and Zuckerberg branding 2023 as the, quote, year of efficiency. The company also closing an additional 5,000 open roles that hadn't been filled yet. Zuckerberg in a statement writing, quote, this will be tough and there's no way around that. Meta will undergo additional restructuring over the next couple of months, and the cost-cutting measures clearly having a positive impact on investors. The stock ending the week up 10%. Though today it was lower. But look, Meta has been now focusing on AI much more. That is the first and foremost focus because of this craze that we have also seen in AI. It is rebuilding its tools when it comes to its reliance on user data for advertising. And yes, it is still involved with metaverse, the VR metaverse strategy that had been announced last year. That is a strategy, but it's very capital intensive. That is their North Star. But nonetheless, AI is now taking the forefront.
Yeah, look, it's a year of efficiency. This is clearly a follow through on the message that we heard from Mark Zuckerberg in the last earnings call. We talked to Brent Thill. He's an analyst with Jefferies that covers Meta, got his reaction to these cuts. And I want to play a quick clip for what he had to tell us.
The expense structure was way ahead of the revenue growth. So I think what we're doing now is bringing the expense structure down to where growth is at. And so, they've cut effectively almost $10 billion of expense out, which just tells you, how overweight they were on potentially unnecessary roles. We've said this repeatedly, tech is overhired. There's a lot more cuts to come. This is not the last cut.
Meta clearly not alone in the tech cutting picture here. A number of the larger firms announcing massive layoffs. Those names include Amazon, Salesforce, a couple other names there. Zoom was one of the smaller players in this space, but has actually announced a couple of rounds of layoffs. When it comes to Meta, efficiency, certainly the name of the game at this point. Zuckerberg in an internal email really talking about some of the advantages of a leaner organization, weeding out some of the employees, the fact that they overhired by such a significant amount, really readjusting the company for a more realistic, or really what the company needs to be scaled to in this time of a macroeconomic environment, the time of a lot of uncertainty, significant pullback here. But that shift to AI, and that has really been the story. And that has what it looks like at this point gotten more investors back on board with the company, with the stock off to a tremendous start to the year.